Hello Growing Faith, welcome back to another video. This month we are looking at hope. So shall we start off with a story about a little mole finding hope?
Little Mole finds hope. Little Mole was sad. He lay in his burrow deep underground and put his head in his paws. Little Mole, whatever's wrong? Asked Mamma.
I just don't know, Mama,
Sniffed Little Mole.
but I don't feel good inside. I'm sad.
What you need is hope, Mamma said.
Hope? What is hope? Where do I find it?
Little Mole asked. Come with me, Mamma said, as she took hold of Little Mole's paw. Sometimes hope is hiding in the darkness. Sometimes it's hard to see, but it's always there. You just have to find it. Mamma led her son gently out of the dark burrow up towards the light, but on their way out of the tunnel, Mamma stopped. Do you see this bulb, Little Mole? She asked. Mamma pointed to a bulb squashed in the dark earth. It was brown, wrinkled and lifeless.
It's dead, Mama,
Said Little Mole. No, my dear, Mamma whispered softly. This bulb is not dead. Sometime soon it will feel the warmth of the sun. It will begin to grow and push its way out of the deep cold earth. One day this bulb will become a beautiful yellow daffodil. Close your eyes, Little Mole. Can you see it dancing in the wind?
Yes, Mama,
Cried Little Mole.
I see it. I see it.
That is hope, Mamma said. Little Mole and Mamma reached the top of the burrow where the sun was shining. Look up, Little Mole, Mamma said. What do you see? Little Mole looked up and he saw a woodpecker sitting in the trees, but the branches were bare. They stretched out like skeleton bones silhouetted against the sky.
They're dead, Mama,
Said Little Mole. No, my dear, Mamma whispered softly. The trees are not dead. One day soon buds will appear and these branches will be covered in bright green leaves. Close your eyes, Little Mole. Can you see them dancing in the wind?
Yes, Mama,
Cried Little Mole.
I see them. I see them.
That is hope, Mamma said. Little Mole and his Mamma scurried along the edge of the woods until they came to Mr. Rabbit's garden. An old brown flower pot was lying on its side in the soil. Under the rim, something small and shriveled was hanging.
It's dead, Mama,
Said Little Mole. No, my dear, Mamma whispered softly. This chrysalis is not dead. One day soon the butterfly growing inside will burst out of her shell. She will spread her wings and fly free among the flowers. Close your eyes, Little Mole, said Mamma. Can you see her dancing in the wind?
Yes, Mama,
Cried Little Mole.
I see her. I see her.
That is hope, Mamma said. Little Mole and his Mamma went home.
I had a wonderful day today, Mama.
Little Mole said happily.
Now I know that there's always hope, even in the darkest places.
Mamma smiled as she tucked Little Mole into bed and pulled his quilt up under his chin and kissed him good night. And Little Mole closed his eyes and fell fast asleep, dreaming of yellow daffodils, green trees and beautiful butterflies dancing together in the wind.
Right, that was a merry jolly good story. Hello everyone, my name is Einstein, and I'm going to test your knowledge to see if you were listening. Alright, question 1. What kind of jumper was the mole wearing? Was it A, a plain jumper, B, a stripy jumper, or C, a spotty jumper? That's right! It was a jolly good striped jumper. If you got striped, then you're on your way to becoming the world's smartest person in the world, like yours truly. Alright. how did the little mole say he was feeling? Was it A, grumpy? Was it B, sad? Or C, excited? That's right! The mole was sad. Alrighty, question 3. What did Mama say he needed? Was it A, hope, B, faith, or C, love? That's right, it was A, hope. Hope you got that answer right. Alrighty. Next question. What did they see before the end of the tunnel? Was it A, a spider web? Oh, B, a big rock? Or C, a flower bulb? That's right! Ding ding ding! It was C, a flower bulb. What color were the flowers they saw? Was it A, pink, B, yellow, or C, purple? That's right, it was yellow! Yellow. Next question. What kind of bird did they spot? Was it A woodpecker? Was it B, a robin? Or C, a blackbird? That's right. It was A woodpecker. Next question. What did Mama say would appear on the trees? Was it A, flowers, B, fruits, or C, buds? That's right, it was C, a bud. Alrighty, hope you were paying attention. Time for the final question. What did Mama say would emerge from the chrysalis? Was it A beautiful butterfly, B, a dragonfly, or C, a moth? That's right! It was a butterfly! Alrighty! That was jolly good, chaps! Hope to see you next time on Growing Faith! I'm Einstein. Have a brilliant, fantastic rest of your evening. Cheerio. Toot toot. Jolly good.
Cool. Well, how many of those did you get right? I bet you were listening pretty closely. So, shall we go over to Lois with our talk this week?
Hey everyone. So, this month we are looking at hope. If you remember last time, we did faith. And so this time we're looking at hope, and then next time we're going to be looking at something else. But for now, we're going to focus on hope. So, I wonder, do you know what hope means? That's right. So hope means expecting or waiting for something that you really want to happen. Have you ever really hoped for something and you hoped that you would get it? So maybe now you're hoping to see your friends again or your family members, or maybe you're really hoping to be able to go on holiday soon. So in the Bible story that we're looking at this month, the two people that are in the story were really hoping for something to happen that seemed pretty much impossible for them. But they kept on hoping. So, shall we read it together? A long time ago, there was a man named Abram. Now, it's important to know that Abram and his wife were quite old. One day, the Lord came down and he came to talk to Abram. And Abram asked him, who will have all his things after he dies? God promised Abram and his wife Sarai that one day they would be parents, even though they were quite old and had no children yet. But God wasn't so sure that Abram understood what he was saying. So one night he took him outside and said, Abram, look at the stars in the sky. Can you see all of them? When Abram looked up, the whole night sky was full of stars, so many that he couldn't even count them. Now, I don't know if you ever tried to count the stars, but every time I tried, I got to like 10 and then I lost count because there were so many. But God pointed at the stars and said, Abraham, this is how many children you will have. Now, Abraham thought that was a little bit weird for God to show him all the stars and say that's how many children he would have, even though he had none. And by this point, Abraham was around 99 years old. But the Lord decided to change Abraham's name to Abraham, which means father of many. And he also changed his wife's name, Sarai, to Sarah. And God told them that they would be parents and that they would have a boy. Now, this time, Abraham laughed so hard that he fell. It was so hard to believe that him and Sarah would have a child because they were so old. But they chose to trust in God and to put their hope in him. One day, 3 visitors came to Abraham's house. He hurried to meet them and he offered them food and drink and invited them inside. So the visitors agreed and Abraham went and got food for them and made sure they were fed. And while the visitors were eating, they asked Abraham where his wife Sarah was. And Abraham thought this was a little bit of a weird question, but he told them that she was in the room next door. So the men started speaking to him, and they said that they will come back this time next year and that Sarah will have a son. Now, the men didn't know this, but Sarah was in the other room and she was actually listening to them from behind a door. And she started laughing, but she covered her mouth so they wouldn't hear her, so they didn't know that she was listening. Then she said to herself, "How can I have a child? I'm almost 100 years old." So later when the visitors left, Abraham went to Sarah and they discussed about it, and they've realised that it was actually God who came down to them and told them that. So they both decided that from this point on they would have hope in the Lord, and even though it seemed impossible for them to have a child, that they would believe God and they would put their hope in the Lord and keep praying for a child. And guess what? A year later, Sarah did have a son, and she and Abraham named him Isaac. And they were so excited and remembered to thank God for Isaac. So why do you think Abraham and Sarah kept on hoping for a baby, even though it seemed like they would never get one? That's right, because God told them that they would. So they trusted him and believed that what he said would happen. And this is similar for us. Now, sometimes we may be hoping for things that maybe God hasn't promised us, and it can be quite disappointing that we don't get them. But if God has definitely promised us something, we can know for sure and we can have hope in him that it will definitely happen. It's not like anything else that we hope, like maybe hoping for a specific toy for Christmas or for your birthday, but this hope that we have in God is so much better because if God promises it, we know that it would happen for sure. And so we can pray to him and hope in him with confidence that it will happen. So, I have a challenge for you for this week. In the Bible, it says that the Lord is good to those who hope in him. So next time you hope for something, I want you to try praying for it to God and hope in God because he always works everything out for our good. So let's head over and see what the craft is for this week.
Okay, thanks very much, Lois. That was amazing. Right, for today's craft, or this month's craft, we are going to make a rainbow hope mobile for you to hang up somewhere in your house or in your room. So for this, I'm using a half paper plate, although you could just get a strip of card, that would be okay as well. And then I've taken a piece of paper and I've written the word hope. I've sort of used bubble writing, and then I've cut it out to make sort of like a pretty kind of cloud shape. And the first thing I'm going to do, I've also got some rainbow coloured wool here, but again, you could use string or anything that you wanted to. And the first thing I'm going to do is to attach the word hope onto my rainbow. So I'm going to do that by getting the wool and stick them down like that, and then I'm going to use some sellotape. You can see it's taking shape a little bit, okay? So, and then all you need to do is to start decorating it. Now, you could use felt tips for this, or I've got some paint as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start colouring in or decorating the word hope. So I'm going to use my pens for this. Let me go around the outside. Ooh. And then I think I'm going to do some stripes down this one. There we go. And then I might do red for the next one. And then for my rainbow on here, now I'm going to use paint, and the first colour in the rainbow I'm going to use is red. So I'm going to put a nice blob of red for my rainbow at the start. So I'm going to carry on painting my rainbow, and when it's all done, hopefully it should look something like this. So here is our Rainbow Hope mobile. So when it's all finished and decorated, you could stick it up on your wall and it will remind you to have hope.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that craft. If you do end up doing it, send it into our Facebook page because we would love to see it. Now we are going to have a song, so follow along with the actions and the words. Well, that is it for today. We have had so much fun. We've had stories, we've had crafts, we have had music. Don't forget to join us next time. Possibly we'll be in person, depending on what the rules are. If not, you can keep up to date on our Facebook page. We have a Minecraft server. We are gonna have an Easter event. So if you wanna keep up to date on everything we've got going on, follow our Facebook page. And that's it for this month. Bye!